Alrighty, I want to talk about the Groyper Wars, also known as Knickers versus Conservative Inc.
People need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against the stuff.
So what is this? Maybe you already know about this, or maybe you don't. So to recap, Nick Fuentes is leader of the Groypers or the Knickers. He is pictured here on the left underneath Knickers. And then you see I have versus Conservative Inc. Charlie Kirk, the head of TP USA, Toilet Paper USA, Turning Point USA. We have them on the right. Alright, so now that we have that basic covered, then we're going to describe, so basically Nick Fuentes and his followers they're attacking, it's kind of like a troll attack. They're doing these in-person troll attacks of groups that the very, very corporate, like young neocon side of conservatism. So they're claiming that they're paleo-conservatives, but they're really not. So, why are they doing it? That's a very good question. So I happened to stumble across a section of a live stream that Nick Fuentes, Knicker, the leader of the Knickers, then he put out, and he talked about why they're doing this, and he, where he claimed it wasn't attacks, but he, admitted that they have a thing that they've launched against quote-unquote Conservative Inc. So, here we go. I'm going to play this.
Up. And a question for Nick, will we calm down our attacks as the election approaches? And no. And these are not attacks. It's an inquiry. It's not an attack. It's an inquiry. And no, it will not stop. Matthew says, it will not stop until we get a seat at the table. If Charlie Kirk thinks this is a liability going into the election, okay, then accommodate us. We're not asking for anything that is not just and owed to us, which is a seat at the table. We have legitimate grievances. We have a legitimate, faction or right-wing ideology, which is different from yours, and we deserve to speak. We deserve to ask questions. We deserve to do events, to not be slandered or terrorized or attacked. So unless and until Charlie Kirk and these others are willing to give us what we deserve, which is a seat at the table at Conservative Inc. or the conservative movement or whatever, they allow us to spread our message in the same marketplace of ideas that they do, then this will continue. And if it's a liability, then so be it. That's something that they'll have to figure out. He's the head of Students for Trump. This is something the Trump campaign will have to give them shit for. Let's see. Matthew says Groypers don't...
Okay. So I want to react to that clip. He's saying, they want a seat at the table. Here's the problem with this. Turning Point USA, they basically helped get Trump elected, or so they claim. I don't know if they really did, because the statistics show that Trump did not really get the youth vote. But Charlie Kirk went out with, and I first heard of him and his organization from Tommy Lahren back in the day when I watched her, that was before I really, really woke up politically. So we're talking when she was on the Blaze. And so 2015, early 2016, Charlie Kirk and Don Jr. and Eric Trump, who you don't really hear from anymore, but that's Trump's other adult son. And they did tours, and they went around to colleges and talked to students. And Charlie Kirk had already been talking to students before Trump announced. So, Turning Point, they used to be a good organization. They've kind of gotten to where they think they're better than everyone else. And Nick Fuentes and his people are not the only ones that don't have a quote-unquote seat at the table. And it's very petulant and obnoxious of him to think that they're just going to sort of invade the question and answer section and, you know, have his followers, like, basically throw a fit. It's very, very similar to what leftists do. Because, you know, they're trying to demand something that they didn't earn. They're trying to demand, quote-unquote, a seat at the table. He's saying we deserve it. Why? You didn't earn it. You want conservative events for your version of conservatism, which I don't think is conservative. But you want events for your version? You create the events. You go out and fundraise. You know, you organize the events. You can't just expect, you know, you contact organizations, and if they want to bring you on, okay. If they don't want to bring you on, they don't have to bring you on. This is like the child who tries to demand that kids be friends with them, even though they don't want to be friends with them. You know, you can't make people like you. You can't make, you know, or trying to, like, demand, you know, if you think you're qualified for a job, could you imagine just, like, demanding it from an organization? No, it doesn't work that way. If you want events, you organize those events. If you want to get on college campuses, you get yourself on college campuses. Go to colleges and talk to the students and get the students to create their own clubs. They worked, you know, I have my grievances with quote-unquote Conservative Inc. too, but they worked to build the network that they have in place. And that means that they can shut certain people out. And newsflash for you, Mr. Nicker, you're not the only one who can't get in to Conservative Inc. Magdalene Rose has tried to do collaborations with various conservatives who are in Conservative Inc. And they've been really nasty to her. And, you know, she has basically conservative ideologies, unlike the Nicker group, which is very anti-Jew, very, very anti-Semitic. I commented on some of the posts about this, and I agree with, you know, their grievances against quote-unquote Conservative Inc., but then they go further than just those grievances. Like, one of the people who was trolling started asking questions, and then he turned it into, oh, people should Google dancing Israelis, which is like, they want people to find this clip of dancing Palestinians because the Palestinians, Fakistinians, were dancing in the streets of New Jersey after 9/11, and they keep going around telling all these Zoomers that it was Jews. These people hate Jews, whereas Charlie Kirk's organization, they're actually even a little too pro-Jewish for my taste. But these people are crazy. These people are absolutely crazy. Anyway, so I had commented on some of the videos about this. And you know what they did to me? I got comments underneath, like, one person replied, "You're my favorite Jew." That tells me, see, Nick Fuentes went on the Amazing Lucas's show a few days ago, and he played it real nice, and he said, oh no, we're not the alt-right, and the alt-right is gone, and we're real, you know, no, I'm not an anti-Semite, bull. Basically tried to only sell their more tame beliefs and denied some of their crazier beliefs. And, I mean, even people without those crazy beliefs don't seem to be invited to be a part of quote-unquote Conservative Inc. You can't just barge your way in. You know, it doesn't work that way. By the way, Mr. I'm all about free speech, and I don't block people, and, you know, Charlie Kirk shouldn't block. Charlie Kirk blocks tons of people, not just, I don't know if he's blocked these people, but I know Magdalene Rose has been blocked. I can say that because she said it publicly. This is not something she might have told me in DM as well, but this is not something that, like, this is something she's done videos about. She's been blocked by them. Hotep Jesus, videos went up of this. He was invited to one of their conferences, and then when he got there, they literally told him he had to leave after he was already there. Now, thankfully, it was 2018, not 2019 this year. It was last year, 2018. So the fall conference that they had for the Black Summit that they kicked Hotep out of, Hotep Jesus, that particular weekend was also the same weekend as the walkway event, which was like an open event. So I believe he just ended up going to that because he already had a hotel in DC. But I mean, could you imagine if there hadn't been something else going on? He would have actually had grounds for a lawsuit, I think. I'm not a lawyer or anything, but when I took a law class, I learned about something called promissory estoppel. Whereas if somebody like spends money based on some sort of promise that you make them, sometimes you have grounds for a lawsuit for it. Which, I don't know. Actually, maybe he still possibly could have, but it's probably over the statute because it's over a year ago. But anyway, but yeah, I mean, Hotep Jesus got kicked out. Magdalene Rose has been frozen out by them. And I know that there are a lot of other small YouTubers who, there's a large group of people who don't like Turning Point USA and all of these other, like, super corporate, like, Daily Wire. And even, it's not even so much just a lot of people don't like Ben Shapiro. I don't like Ben Shapiro. I don't like Turning Point USA. I don't mind the other creators on Daily Wire. Like, I was shadow banned off of Daily Wire. If I make comments from my account, I have other accounts, but if I make comments from my main account, no one will see them. I discovered this because somebody was in the live stream saying that they were in New York, and I kept saying, hey, I'm also in New York, let's connect. I'm also in New York, let's connect. And I'm like, why is this asshole not responding? And I'm like, could I be shadow banned? And so I dropped the live stream into another browser, and I went and I made another comment, and then I looked at the comment before and after mine, and then I looked for those two comments in the other browser, and my comment wasn't in between them. Like, the comment before mine and after mine, so Daily Wire had shadow banned me. That's BS. That's absolute BS. You know, these people, they block people and then they turn around and, you shouldn't block people. Well, Nick Fuentes blocked me too. I've never even contacted this guy. I assume he blocked me for being a Jew. Although he mutual follows Halsey, so maybe it's a combination of him being like sexist and anti-Semitic at the same time, but I'm not really a Semite because I converted to Judaism. But, yeah. So his Jew hatred runs deep. But, you know, his whole thing is, why is he... And he's verified? That's very interesting. That is very, very interesting. Now, some people have been saying what I already was thinking is that all of this might be actually a ploy from the left to try to divide the conservative movement. So, like I said, is there a legitimate gripe against Conservative Inc.? Definitely. There's a lot of people who are not part of this, like, Groyper or Knicker group and would not want to be a part of it. And these are people who call out Conservative Inc. I've already said Magdalene Rose, Hotep Jesus, they don't like them. Especially, like, a lot of people don't like Candace Owens, but people have had issues with CJ Pearson. I don't know if he's officially with TPUSA, but he seems to be under the wing of all of these, like, plastic phony conservatives that they're calling Conservative Inc. And he's also phony. He's big time phony. I should do a video about that. I believe he's already been exposed, but, yeah. And, we know Candace blocked a bunch of people, and they're still blocked by them. Chandler Crump had followed me, and then he unfollowed me, and I suspect that that's something where he was basically told stuff about me or told to unfollow me by these, like, quote-unquote Conservative Inc. people. So, you know, these like, corporate plastic people that work together as a group, on the one hand, I don't think that the quote-unquote Knickers deserve a seat at their table because they didn't earn it. But on the other hand, is this group very plastic and exclusive? And is it not crazy for other conservatives to be calling them out? It's not crazy. But I don't see the Knickers or the Groypers, whatever you want to call them, I don't see those people as really mainstream conservatives. They have some of their beliefs are very far out of conservatism. So, you know, and one of the biggest ones is they're very anti-Jew. And like I said, he went on Amazing Lucas and he tried to pretend. He was like, oh, I'm not that anti-Jew. You know, you want to call everybody out and you want to, you know, tell everybody that they have to debate them. Why don't you explain to me why you blocked me? Because I've never interacted with you. Alright. This video has gone on long enough. Thanks for stopping by my channel. I'll see you all next time. If there's any aspects of this that I probably should have covered that you think you want to know my take on that particular aspect, ask me in the comments, or just react in the comments. Comments are good. Comment. The Groypers are probably going to come and they're probably going to mass downvote this video. They call it stream sniping or video sniping, to massively downvote a video to try to harm the channel in the YouTube's algorithms, because, you know, we don't already have enough problems with that in conservatism. Alright, really shutting up this time.
Oh, well, people need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against the stuff. Oh, well, people need to be awake. People need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against this stuff. Oh, well.
And it's so politically engaged. And it's so politically engaged.